Hello, I'm Linda. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Australia, and today I have something cute and a little bit exciting to show you. We have our on-stage training event this weekend. That's a little, well, not a little, it's a big event that Stampin' Up! Put on for us demonstrators twice a year. It's held in all different parts of the world, and very luckily we have one on in Sydney this weekend, which is only about an hour and a half from where I am. So very excited to be heading down there with a whole team of my girls, or not the whole team, but as many as can come. And I have made almost 40 of these cute little Tealight candle boxes to give them as gifts, to say thank you for being part of my team and thank you for being here at the onstage event. So without further ado, I'm going to show you my candle, and I hope you enjoy this video today. So here is our project for today. This is a really cute little thing. I'll show it to you first. This is how it looks. I've made them in lots of different colours. I've been using the Affectionately Yours designer series paper, which is available in our current catalogue. And it's got a couple of foil sheets in it. We've got beautiful copper details, and I've used some of those on some of them as well. So I've used all the different papers just to... I had a whole bunch of it sitting here and I thought I might as well be using it. So it's... yeah, very simple little box. Okay, so you've got your Tealight candles inside, and I've just decorated with a little copper butterfly, and I'll pop that to one side and show you how easy it is to do. We're using the envelope punch board for this particular box. I do have another candle box, which if you're interested, I'll show you another time, that uses the gift bag punch board. So it's a different, it's a similar box, but it's taller. So yeah, it's more of a square, like a cube box. All right, so you're going to start for this little candle box with a piece of 6" by 6" paper. I'll try and give you metric measurements for some of the things, like where to cut the designer series paper, but easier with the envelope punch board just to work in inches for this. So I've got a 6" by 6" sheet of paper, and I'm going to line it up at the 2" mark. Now underneath our envelope punch board is where you store this, the little bone folder, I guess, little scorer that goes with this. If I line the edge up at the 2" mark, and I'm going to punch, okay, and then I'm going to get my bone folder or scorer right into that little nook here and bring it down so it scores in this crease here. Okay, then I'm going to move my paper to the 4" mark, so the left hand side of my paper is at the 4" mark, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to score from there as well. Okay, then I'm going to turn 90 degrees, and I'm going to repeat that, and I'm going to do it on all 4 sides. So actually quite quick and simple to do. Once you get the hang of where the scorer needs to go, it's actually a very simple process. It does take a little bit of practice to get the scorer into the right groove, but once you've got the hang of it, it's super easy. I think I've made so many of these boxes now that I can nearly do them with my eyes closed. Whoops, I went out of the groove, but that's okay. We're covering it all up with paper, so if you do go out of the groove, don't panic. You can fix that. Okay, so I've done all 4 sides. The other thing I'm going to do before I get rid of my envelope punch board is the reverse side of the punch also does round your corners for you, so that looks a little neater. So I did round off my 4 corners of my box as well. Just means that the flaps, when you fold them in, will have that nice soft edge rather than a sharp edge. All right, and that's all we need that for at the moment. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and cut up some designer series paper. Whatever paper you want to use to coordinate with your cardstock is fine. There's no better than any other. I'm using the Affectionately Yours paper, as I mentioned, and I'm just going to use snail over the edges of this. I've cut it at, let me tell you, it's 5.5 centimetres by 5.5 centimetres, this square piece for the top of the box, and 5.5 centimetres on here is roughly 2 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so if you're doing inches, roughly 2 1/8. And I'm just going to pop that right in the middle of those 4, where those 4 scored lines intersect, right in the middle there, and that's going to form the top of your box. And then we've got these little pieces, which are also 5.5 centimetres by 3.2, so 5.5 this way by 3.2 here. Okay, and 3.2 is 1 1/4 inches, so it's going to be, if you're doing inches, it's going to be 2 1/8 by 1 1/4. Okay, and I'm just going to stick those in the little rectangles also formed by the score lines just below. So you just center them in there. And do that on all 4 sides. Really easy little box. I'm making these as team gifts because I used to always do swaps, and I do still do swaps if I get time. But what I like to do is make team gifts, and as the team gets bigger, I'm making more gifts and doing less swaps, I guess. But so this is how this looks now. Then you're going to grab a pair of scissors, whatever paper scissors you like to use, and I'm going to cut from the edge here, and I'm going to cut along that score line, but only as far as the first intersecting score line. So that makes a little flap here. Okay, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing on this side, just as far as the intersecting. So now I have 2 flaps. Turn the whole thing around 180 degrees there, and do the same thing on the other side. So only going up as far as that first score line. Okay, I'm then going to make the window for the top of the box. So this is the little window where this piece of acetate is, and that's just so you can see the candle inside, which kind of looks cute. And I'm going to bring my big shot in, and I'm going to put this in. You could do it, it doesn't really matter which way you go, but if you're putting it in this way, you just need to fold over the flaps. But if you put it in square like this, and then just line this up in the middle. Okay, don't forget with this is from the Layering Circles dies, and I'm using, you can use either the second smallest or third smallest ones for this. The third smallest one's going to give you a slightly bigger window, and you'll see a little bit more of the candle. I was looking for the other plate. Guess where it is? Haha, there's 2 plates right there. If you want to use a magnetic plate, that's not a bad idea at this stage, because that will just help this to stay in place, because you want to make sure it stays centered. Oop. And I'm not using a magnetic plate, can you tell? Alright, so I'm going to roll that through. And as you've seen me do before in my videos, I'm going to bring it back because I just do that to be safe, and it should go through both layers quite nicely. If you're using the thicker foil papers from this paper pack, you may need to go through a little bit more, and you may even need to use a shim. Okay, but that should pop out quite easily. Oh, it popped out without me doing anything actually. So I can use that circle now for something else, which I will. I've got a whole collection of those. Alright, then I'm going to turn it over so we're on the inside now, and I've got a piece of acetate here that I've cut to 2 inches by 2 inches, okay, which is 5.1 centimeters by 5.1 centimeters, and I'm going to use glue dots to attach this. So grab my mini glue dots, trusty things they are, and I'm going to put 1 in each corner of my acetate window sheet. And I'm going to line those up so it's nice and neat there inside this, and now I have an acetate window for my box. Now the next stage is important, just to make your box sit as it should. Okay, we're going to fold on all of our score lines. Do take a moment to fold them flat with a bone folder, and the reason you want to do this is because your box will sit straighter and flatter and look a lot more neat than if you don't. It's worth going to the trouble of going over all your score lines. Do that one. Your box will just be more square at the end, and we want that. It looks more professional. Okay, so all the score lines have been folded ready, and now up to you what adhesive you use. If you want your box to be really strong, I'd probably be going with something like tear and tape or even fast fuse, but tear and tape is probably a really good adhesive for a very strong box. I actually am just using glue dots today. I want my girls to be able to get the candles out easily without having to actually damage the box to get them out. So I found that glue dots for me were a better thing. Now we're going to be working with these little flappy bits here. okay, and you'll see that I've got one here and one here, and then one here and one here, and they're going to form the basis of my box. Now I could put them on with a glue dot like I normally do if I'm attaching an embellishment, but when I'm doing a box, frequently I want to make sure the glue dot goes exactly where I want it, so I'll pull it off with the tip of my bone folder, pop it just here. Now I'm going to sit, I hope you can see this okay, I'm going to sit this up and then bring the other one up and pop them together. Okay, so the two flaps are now attached. Okay, and then same thing on the other side. So I'll get another glue dot with my bone folder, pop it on the end of that flap, sit it up and attach the other one to it, and you should see now the box is starting to take shape. Okay, we've actually got something that almost looks like a box. Right, I'm using Tealight candles. I've stacked 3, one on top of the other. It depends on how thick your Tealight candles are. Mine are quite thin, so it'll take 3. Some Tealight candles you'll only need 2 in there. You might decide you only want 1 and it'll be just a little bit more recessed down into your box. But what I did was I put these upside down, stacked one on top of the other, like so, in the middle of my box. And then just to give them a little bit more stability so they're more likely to stay where I want them to, I put a glue dot on the inside of this tab, or it doesn't matter which tab, pick any tab, and actually stuck it to the bottom of the candles. Okay, and I'm going to get another glue dot on the end of my bone folder again, and then I'm going to bring this one in, I'm going to bring this one in, and the last tab, doesn't matter which one is the last one, but whichever is the last one, pop your glue dot on and put the whole thing together. Okay, now my glue dots hopefully will keep that together enough. Okay, and I've got my little box ready to go. On my original one here that I had ready before, I've also put a little message for my girls on the bottom. Okay, so they to say I hope they enjoy their day and thanks for being part of the team. And also I'll show you this. Last night while watching television, I got my husband to do this little job for me. Look at all these gorgeous copper butterflies. So there's 40 of these, and these are going to be going, they're made with the, I think it's the bulb butterfly die, which is actually a really beautiful little detailed butterfly, all made out of copper foil. And to attach them, all you need to do is pop a glue dot on the back, which you can just do by popping the butterfly straight onto the glue dot, pull that off, and just pop it where you want it to. These wings can sit up. There it is. And I just popped a little pearl in the middle of the butterfly to finish it off. I hope you've enjoyed that. It's a very simple little project. If you would like to see the gift bag punch board version, I can do that another time. I'm off to On Stage later today, actually Centre Stage tonight, which is our dinner, which will be fantastic. So I might not be around too much over the next day or two, but I'm going to have so much new stuff to show you very shortly, so please come back and check out what's new. Thanks guys, have a great day. Bye.